Hello, and welcome back to Pocket English Podcast. I am so happy you are here with us today. If you are new here, this is the place where we help you learn English for real life. We do not just memorize lists of words. We talk about how to use English to connect with people, to make friends, and to feel confident in your daily life. I am Sarah, and I am joined today by Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Sarah, and hello to everyone listening. I am really excited about today's episode. We have a very interesting topic. It is something that almost every English learner worries about, but very few textbooks actually explain.
That is right. Today, we are going to talk about politeness, but not just saying please and thank you. We are going to talk about a hidden trap in the English language. It is a trap that makes very nice, very friendly people sound rude or angry without meaning to.
I know exactly what you are talking about. I have heard this so many times. A student will come up to me and say something that is grammatically correct, perfect grammar, but it feels sharp. It feels like a command. It feels a little bit bossy.
Exactly. Imagine this. You're in a coffee shop. You smile at the barista, you are feeling happy, and you say, "Give me a coffee." Or maybe you say, "I want a latte." To you, that might seem normal. You want the coffee, so you say, "I want." But to the native speaker working at the shop, that sounds very direct. It sounds like an order.
It sounds like you are the king and they are the servant. It is not a nice feeling. But we know you do not mean to be rude. The problem is usually direct translation. In many languages, it is perfectly polite to say, "I want this," or "give me that." But in English, we have a special filter we use to make things soft.
That is the perfect word for it, Mark, a filter. Today, we are going to give you that filter. We are going to stop saying "I want," and we are going to learn the 3 magic words that instantly make you sound friendly, professional, and polite. These words are could, would, and may.
Could, would, and may. These are called modal verbs, but you don't need to worry about the grammar terms. You just need to know how to use them to soften your requests. By the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to order food, ask for help, and even say no to people, all while sounding like a polite, natural English speaker.
Before we jump into our first scenario, I want to ask you a favor. If you enjoy these lessons and you want to make sure you get our next episode about listening skills, please take a second to click that subscribe button. It really helps us keep making these lessons for you.
Okay, let's start with the most common situation, buying something. In our last video, we listened to some conversations about shopping. You heard people buying clothes and ordering food. But now, let's look at the grammar they used. Sarah, what happens if I walk into a shop and I say, "I want this shirt"?
Ooh, it hurts my ears a little bit. If you say "I want this shirt," it is grammatically correct. Subject, verb, object. But emotionally, it is very cold. It focuses only on your desire. It sounds like a demand. In English, when we ask for something from another person, we almost never use the word want. We prefer to use a phrase that sounds like a question.
So instead of "I want," what should I say?
The best and most common replacement is "I would like." Or, even better, you turn it into a question using could. For example, instead of saying "I want a coffee," you say, "Could I have a coffee?"
Could I have a coffee? That sounds much softer. It's like you are giving the other person a choice, even though you know they will give it to you. It shows respect.
Exactly. Let's practice this. I want you to listen to the difference. I will say the direct version, which is the rude version. Then Mark will say the polite pocket English version. Listen closely to the tone. First, the direct version. Give me the menu.
And now the polite version. Could I have the menu?
Did you hear that? Let's try another one. Imagine you are at a clothing store. You see a shirt, but it is too high up on the wall. Do not say, "Give me that shirt." Mark, what do we say instead?
We say, "Could you pass me that shirt?" Or, "Could I see that shirt, please?"
Perfect. Now I want you to try it. I'm going to give you a direct command, and I want you to change it into a polite question using could I have. Ready? Here is the direct phrase. I want the receipt. How would you make that polite?
I will give you a moment to think. You want to change "I want the receipt" to
Could I have the receipt? Or could I have the receipt, please? If you said that, great job. You are already sounding friendlier.
There is another phrase that is very useful here. It is "I would like." This is softer than "I want," but not quite as soft as "could I have." You will hear this a lot in restaurants. The waiter asks, "What do you want?" And you say, "I would like the chicken, please."
Yes,
I'd like is the classic polite form. Notice I said I'd like, ID. That is the contraction for I would. Native speakers almost always use the contraction, I'd like. It flows better. So you can say, I'd like a refund, please, or I'd like to try this on.
So to recap this section, if you are buying something or ordering food, delete the words I want from your vocabulary. Replace them with could I have or I'd like.
Let's move to our second scenario. This is a big one, asking for help. We saw in our previous video a dialogue about asking for directions and asking for help at work. This is where direct translation can get you into trouble. If you go up to a stranger and say, tell me where the bank is, that is very aggressive.
It is. It sounds like you are a police officer interrogating them. Tell me where the bank is. It is scary. If you start a conversation like that, the person might just walk away.
Right. So we need to use our modal verbs again. We can use could, but we can also use would. When we ask for help, we are asking someone to do something for us. So the structure changes slightly. Instead of could I have, we say could you. Could you help me?
Let's compare. Direct version. Help me with this box. Polite version. Could you help me with this box?
Much better. But Mark, there is a phrase that is even more polite. It is a phrase we use when we feel like we might be bothering someone. Maybe they look busy. Maybe they are working. If you want to be extra polite, what do you say?
You are talking about the magic phrase, would you mind? This is advanced politeness. It is perfect for professional situations or when talking to strangers. Would you mind helping me?
Yes, but be careful with the grammar here. After would you mind, we use the verb with ing. We do not say, would you mind help me? We say, would you mind helping me?
Let's practice that structure because it is a little tricky. I will say the action and Sarah will put it into the would you mind sentence. Action. Open the window.
Would you mind opening the window?
Action. Check this email.
Would you mind checking this email?
Action. Speak slower.
Would you mind speaking slower?
Excellent. Now, listener, it is your turn. Imagine you are on the bus. The person next to you has their bag on the empty seat. You want to sit down. The direct, rude way to say it is, move your bag. But you are a polite English speaker. How do you ask nicely using would you mind?
Remember to use the ing form. Try to say it out loud.
Did you say, would you mind moving your bag? If you did, that is perfect.
There is one funny thing about this phrase, though. Mark, if I ask you, would you mind opening the window? And you are happy to do it, what do you say? Do you say yes or no?
This is the confusing part. If I am happy to do it, I say no. I say, no, not at all, or no, I don't mind.
This confuses so many learners. Let's explain why. The question is asking, does this bother you? Do you mind? So if you say yes, it means yes, I am bothered. Yes, I am annoyed. So you are refusing to help.
Exactly. So if you want to be helpful, you have to answer in the negative. Would you mind helping me? No, of course not. No, not at all. It means no, it is not a problem.
So if you ask someone for directions using this phrase, would you mind showing me the way? And they say no, do not be sad. They are actually saying yes, they will help you.
Okay, let's move to our third and final scenario. This one is very important for work, which we saw in the last video's dialogue about the office. Sometimes you have to be the one to say no. Maybe a colleague asks you for help, but you are too busy.
This is very difficult. If someone says, could you check this report? And you just say, no, I can't. It is honest, but it is too strong. It can damage your relationship with your coworker. In English, we use a technique called the soft no. The soft no. I like that. How does it work? It has two parts. First, you say you want to help. Then you say why you cannot. The formula is, I'd love to, but, followed by your reason. I use this all the time. For example, if you ask me, Mark, can you come to the meeting at 5 p.m. and I have a doctor's appointment? I don't say, no, I'm busy. I say, I'd love to, but I have an appointment. See how that feels different? It makes the other person feel valued. You are saying, I like you and I want to help, but it is impossible. The I'd love to is the softener.
Let's practice this. I am going to act like a bossy colleague. I am going to ask you to do things you cannot do. I want you to refuse me politely using I'd love to, but. Ready? Sarah, can you finish this report for me tonight?
I'd love to, but I have plans with my family tonight.
Okay, that was nice. I cannot be angry at that. Let's try another one. Sarah, Can you lend me $50?
I'd love to, but I don't have any cash on me right now.
Perfect. Now you try it, listener. Imagine a friend asks you to go to the cinema, but you have to study English. How do you say no politely? Use the phrase, I'd love to, but. Say it out loud. Did you say, I'd love to, but I have to study? If so, great job. You have refused the invitation without hurting your friend's feelings.
So let's bring it all together. We have learned that direct translation often leads to rude English. We learned to stop saying, I want, and give me.
Instead, we learned the 3 levels of polite requests. Level 1, could I have or could you? This is great for almost every situation. Could I have a coffee? Could you help me?
Level 2 is I would like or I'd like. This is perfect for ordering food or stating a preference. I'd like the chicken, please.
And level 3 is the advanced polite form. Would you mind? Would you mind helping me? And remember, if you answer this, say no to mean yes.
And finally, we learned how to say no nicely with I'd love to, but.
We have a little challenge for you. We call it the 24-hour politeness challenge. For the next day, try to catch yourself every time you are about to say, I want. Stop yourself, take a breath, and change it to I'd like or could I have.
It might feel strange at first. You might feel like you are being too formal, but trust me, you are not. You are just sounding like a natural, friendly English speaker. Notice how people react to you. When you use these soft phrases, people smile more. They are more patient. They want to help you.
That is the power of language. It is not just about information. It is about emotion.
If you found this lesson helpful and you want to continue building your English confidence, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. In our next episode, we are going to look at the other side of the conversation, listening. We are going to teach you what to do when someone speaks too fast and you feel lost. You do not want to miss that.
Thank you so much for listening and practicing with us today. Keep practicing those modal verbs, could, would, may. Keep them in your pocket. Press play, relax, and let your English grow. We will talk to you in the next episode. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.